Which do you prefer, McDonald's or Chick-fil-A? Before answering, you probably evaluated each of these fast food chains according to your own tastes and cravings, compared them, and then chose the one with a higher value for you. This is exactly the kind of question you might be asked if you were a participant in a study on value-based decision-making. There has been a lot of progress in the science of how we evaluate and choose between well-defined alternatives, and much of the research on the topic would lead us to believe that we go about our days deciding between choices like options on a menu. And yet, most of our decisions are not like that at all. They are open-ended. When deciding how to respond to an insult, we are not presented a piece of paper with two well-crafted retorts on it from which we can choose A or B. More often, such as when deciding how to spend a weekend evening, we first must mentally generate a range of options, a process that is crucially important for making choices. A 2021 study showed that people are much more likely to think of McDonald's than Chick-fil-A. When asked to name a fast food chain and therefore more likely to reply McDonald's when asked the open-ended question, "What's your favorite fast food chain?" However, in the same study, more people chose Chick-fil-A over McDonald's when presented with an exhaustive list of chains and asked to choose their favorite from the set. Since we don't carry around such lists in real life, we may end up eating at McDonald's more often simply because it comes to mind more easily. This suggests that what comes to mind has a huge impact on our choices, and that we may end up with something less satisfying simply because we didn't think of something better in the moment. Before we run down the rest of the list, you'll please do us a favor and smack the shit out of that like and subscribe button for us. My friends, it's quick, easy, and helps us out more than you'll ever know. Number 4, for better plans, think backward. Backward induction can be applied to many decision-making scenarios in which the outcome relies on a series of interdependent choices. A good example of this was portrayed on the sitcom Friends, when Rachel's 30th birthday prompted her to reflect on her future, and specifically how she could achieve her goal of becoming a mother of 3. Reasoning backward, Rachel determines that she'd have to have her first child by age 35, meaning she'd have to get pregnant by 34, as she considers marriage a prerequisite to having children and wants to be married at least 1 year prior to getting pregnant. She'd have to marry at 33, assuming 1.5 years to get to know the guy before her engagement, and 1.5 years to plan a wedding. She concludes that that very moment at age 30 is the time to meet her future husband. Hours later, she breaks up with her boyfriend, 6 years her junior and not ready for such a commitment. Rachel's example illustrates how using a future goal as a reference point allows you to work backward and arrive at the most rational strategy for the present. Backward induction can thus be a helpful method of approaching any long-term goal that might appear unattainable in the moment. Of course, the whimsical nature of life can render the best plans obsolete. As fans of Friends know, Rachel's wish for a child became reality much sooner than she intended, albeit in an unexpected way. Still, it wouldn't have happened if she hadn't concluded that she needed to break up with Tag. Number 3, to manage overload, think more flexibly. Imagine you're organizing a dinner party. You've spent all day cooking and you're excited for your 5 closest friends to come over so you can catch up on each other's lives. The table is set, the candles are burning, and the champagne is about to be popped. Then, you get a text. 2 guests can't make it. How do you respond to your negative feelings? The answer could affect your mental health. Do you try to see the situation more positively by focusing on feeling grateful for the friends who can still attend? If so, you're engaging in cognitive reappraisal or reframing something in a more positive way. Or do you instead ignore or suppress those feelings of disappointment or sadness? This is referred to as emotional suppression. Or do you think about all the possible reasons why 2 of your best friends weren't able to come to your party over and over again? This would be rumination. Number 2, to boost creativity, think of opposites. Creativity consists of the production of entities that are both new and valuable. The newness is unprecedented, and the value may involve usefulness, precision, or advancement. Creativity is at the core of the most important and far-reaching achievements in art, literature, science, music, business, and other fields. One vital creative strategy is known as the Janushan process, after the multi-faced Roman god Janus, who always looks in diametrically opposed directions. It consists of actively conceiving two or more opposite or contradictory ideas, concepts. Or to apply the process, do not simply think in contrasts or play with opposites. Make endless lists of opposites rather than searching for only the pertinent and important ones, or just turn things around or go in some reverse and opposite direction. Do conceive two or more opposites as true or theoretically mechanically or aesthetically operative at the same time, as for example dealing with an adversary, in the geopolitical realm with loving hatred, or in the business world, both helping and contending with a competitor at the same time. Number 1. To maintain focus, practice critical ignoring. To think critically, you need to be able to seek out sources of information, read carefully, consider the credibility of those sources, and reason out conclusions on your own. In the days before the internet, critical thinking was the most important cognitive skill that informed citizens could have. For most of our history, we lived in small groups in which emotionally charged information typically signaled threats or opportunities. In that environment, letting our emotions guide our attention was generally a successful strategy. But today, if we clicked on every sensational item on the screen, we'd not only waste a lot of valuable time, but also potentially pick up a lot of false information. To protect ourselves, we need new ways of interacting with information. That means critical ignoring, a complementary skill to critical thinking, in which we intentionally control our environment to reduce exposure to low-quality information. We'd love to hear what you think down in the comments. As always, my friends, we thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.